When you think of a car, what comes to mind? Freedom, autonomy, individualism, speed, efficiency. In theory, it's a great idea. Everyone has their own mode of transportation. They can go wherever they want, whenever they want, at any time. But at this point, is that really the case? When I see a car, I think of debt, insurance, zoning laws, corporate interests, and a lot of inequity. My name is Leo, and in this video, I'll be breaking down how and why a car-centric society is slowly killing us all. Our extreme dependence on cars affects a lot, from our economy to our health, to our social lives, and worst of all, to me at least, our environment. Now, to start breaking it down, what is a car-centric society? If you live in the United States, it's all around you. It's an urban design that prioritizes private transportation, aka cars, trucks, bikes, maybe not as much bikes, motorcycles, I should say. Anything that isn't a bus or a train, or can move a lot of people quickly at once. And why is it like this, you may ask?
Money.
A good chunk of it is corporate greed. Shocker, right? From automotive companies to insurance companies, all the way to the damn tire companies. But profits for them is costs to you. And I don't even just mean monetary costs. I mean time. I mean your commute. I mean your mental health. There's so much you lose to driving that could be so easily solved with less money. But it won't happen because it's not as profitable. And not even just cost to you out of your wallet for your car. I'm talking about taxes for roads, taxes for signs, for intersections, for, I was going to say sidewalks, but that's really not the case in a lot of places. So they take it out of your pockets directly and through your taxes. Isn't that so crazy? But it's worth it because you can go wherever you want, whenever you want. No, you can't, because everyone else is trying to do the exact same shit. And all you are is stuck in traffic. According to the Center for Sustainable Systems, cars and trucks account for 86% of the passenger miles in the United States. And on top of that, the US had 285 million registered cars and 238 million licensed drivers. And that's just 2023. Imagine what it is now. Everyone and their mom is driving a car, literally. And this video, let me get to this point now. I'll restate it later, but this video is not anti-car. It's pro-choice. I think you should be able to drive a car if you want, but I don't think it should be your only option. You see what I'm saying here? Because if you're anything like me, you're fucking broke and you're already having a hard enough time paying bills as it is. But now, thanks to lobbying against public transportation and urban sprawl, we have no choice but to use our cars, but to pour all our money into it, which costs so much more than we can really afford. And what are we really paying for? Obviously, you pay for the car itself, however much that may be. But then you want to drive the car, you got to pay for driving school. And then once you finally pass, you got to pay for the test. And then once you do all that, you have the car, you have your license, that's great, which you also got to pay for, by the way. What do you do now? You pay for gas, you pay for maintenance on the car, just general, wear and tear, repair. You pay for mechanic bills for when shit inevitably goes sideways. You got to pay for that. You got to pay insurance on the car. And if you don't, they'll charge you even more money. Even if nothing happens, you're still fucked. And if you live in a no-fault state and you do get in a crash, you pay all that insurance money for them to not help you. Isn't that awesome? So cool. If you're in a big city, you got to pay for parking. If you get a traffic ticket, you got to pay for that. You got to pay your registration every year. You got to pay taxes on the car. And on top of it all, you got to pay for the rubber on the road. You got to get your tires replaced. But yeah, public transportation, that's too expensive. That's too many taxes. And that's just the money. I haven't even started talking about how it affects our health, how it affects the safety of both the people driving the car and the people around the car. And don't even get me started on what they're doing with modern cars.
Disgusting shit.
From the fact that cars are just getting bigger and bigger, to the headlights harnessing the power of raw, to every single button and mechanism in your car being hooked up to this little fucking iPad. That's like the entire dashboard, dude. What the fuck are we doing? It's de-evolution disguised as innovation, but I'm not going to get into that right now. That's a whole nother fucking video. What I want to talk about is the fact that we are losing more and more walkability as every day passes, which causes a lot of problems for people, especially if you're elderly or if you're disabled or if you're just a kid, dude. You can't even play in your neighborhood anymore without worrying about some big ass dude in a fucking Tacoma smushing your ass, turning you into a goddamn road pancake. Maybe you're too old to drive. That sucks for you. You better have family nearby to help you get groceries because you're not walking. The closest thing's a couple miles away and there's no public transit. Shit has just been better. I don't know. Skill issue. And with less walkability, we lose that sense of community. No one's walking past anybody. I mean, okay, I know it's a little different for big cities. I know they still kind of have that. But in your middle of nowheresville, bro, there's none of that. You're not passing by people on the sidewalk on your way to the corner store. You're not getting any of that, bro. Everyone's just in their own little bubbles, little four-wheel bubbles, just puttering wherever they need to go. I'm getting off topic though. Back to safety. There are way too many people driving right now that should not be able to fucking drive. They're not able to drive, but I mean, they should not be on the road with other capable drivers. You get what I'm saying? But I can't even be mad at them because they don't have any other choice, dude. They don't have a bus. They don't have a train. They can't walk anywhere. So they have to get in a car. And even if it's at the cost of everyone else's safety, we all got to eat. So what do we do? Great question. I know what I can do. I can cry on YouTube about how much I don't like it. And that's exactly what I'm about to do. On a more serious note, the environmental impact, we all know that the gas that our cars burn puts a lot of pollutants in the air. But some other things we don't think about as often is the noise pollution, as well as urban sprawl destroying, just slaughtering ecosystems, fucking up food chains, displacing animals, all types of shit that some of you don't really care about, and that sucks. But it's just annoying that we've sacrificed so much nature for this so-called efficient system, yet you still can't find parking. Vehicle emissions are a major source of a lot of things that we shouldn't be breathing at all, including CO2. But what I want to talk about right now is
benzene. Benzene is a highly flammable, aromatic, colorless carcinogen that is known to cause an increased risk of leukemia, anemia, and a weakened immune system.
And the risk is even higher for children, especially those who live near busy roads. Living near busy roads has been linked to developmental delays as well as disorders during pregnancy. And get this, in addition to the physical ailments, you also end up with insane mental illnesses. Obviously, it's not guaranteed, but like your risk for those becomes so much higher, not even just because of the inhalation of the benzene, but because you're next to a busy road. You're always hearing shit. Maybe you just deal with a lot of noise pollution all the time. You can't get enough sleep. That sleep deprivation ends up fucking with your head. On top of inhaling fumes, you can end up with anxiety, depression, insomnia, all types of shit just from being next to a busy road. You don't even have to own a car to have that. Did you guys know that approximately 17,000 to 20,000 people die every single year from inhaling these fumes? Like, is that not like that's a good chunk of people? That's like 2 small towns, bro, dying every year to this fucking bullshit. And believe it or not, I don't know why you wouldn't believe it. You're kind of dumb not to, or you live under a rock. But big shocker, people of color are disproportionately affected by this. Yeah, isn't that so insane? No. They breathe an average of 66% more toxic air, more benzene infected air as compared to white residents. It's just fucked up. My point is, it causes a lot of harm, both physical harm and mental harm. And that's just the tangible repercussions of it. I'm barely touching on like what could happen, all the shit that could happen, but that could be a fucking 30-hour long YouTube video. That's a whole different thing that I'm not going to make right now because I'm already having a hard enough time staying on topic. I know I've already talked a lot about the money, but I kind of want to bring it back a little bit because it's not just the immediate financial demand that a car puts on a household or just a person. It's the fact that cars are inherently a tax on the poor because odds are you can't get to your job without a car. But the problem is you can't afford a car without a job. So if you're already a low income household and you find a job, but you need a car to get to it, and that car shits itself, what do? You're kind of fucked. You have to go into more debt if you're not already in debt. Or if you're not already in debt, you have to go into debt just to go to work. Is that not insane? Is that not so crazy to people? A lot of, like, so many more people than we think are just one really bad car accident or car mishap away from just straight up being homeless, bro. But everyone seems to think that it stems from addiction and just being a drug. Okay, sorry, off topic again.
Play no games, play no games.
Point is, cars are so bad for a lot of people, but especially poor people. And not just car ownership, but you got redlining, you got highway placements. Dude, oh my God, there's so many things I could break down in this video that I think I would need a little more research experience to be able to effectively break down. But these are all things I'll touch on some other time. Back on topic, dude. I'm so bad at this. I'm so fucking bad at this. What the fuck? But it's a problem. It's a problem that I think needs to be addressed. It's just gonna, from what I've seen, take a long time to address because we're caught up in so much other bullshit. People don't really care, and we've become so sucked into our own little bubbles, our like hyper individualism, that we don't want to help our fellow man. You know, we just kind of do our own thing, and if somebody's having a hard time or falling off, it's their fault. That's just kind of how, I'm not saying that's how everyone sees it, but I've kind of noticed that more and more, especially with the rise of social media. Everyone just becomes more their own thing, and we're like crabs in a fucking bucket. And another thing that comes with this social media is polarity. It loves polarity because it creates algorithms. But the polarity here is people are going to watch this video and tell me three things, probably more, but at least these three things. One, bro, if you have a car, you're free. That's freedom, bro. We're creating more freedom by letting people have cars. Freedom and mandatory ownership are two completely different things. At least to me. Am I crazy for saying that? Am I so crazy for saying that? Number two, public transit is unrealistic. It's either too expensive or we don't have the infrastructure for it, or it's just not very feasible. Public transit's gross and it's for homeless people. I've genuinely heard that. I don't get it. I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's common, but because they don't have any other choice. It's negative stigma, bro. It's bad stigma, probably peddled by these fucking car companies. But I disagree. I call me idealistic, optimistic, whatever, a fool. But I think it can happen. I think even despite the infrastructure being in place for a very car-centric society, change can be incremental, man, just a little bit at a time. You know, go support public transit when you can. I mean, you know, it's hard right now. That's why I'm making this video. Like it's tough shit to do. Just know it's not too late. You know, every movie makes a difference. It's kind of like global warming. You know, everyone's like, what's one guy gonna do? Oh, I recycled my paper plate. What's that gonna do? That's not gonna do shit, bro. These billionaires are burning through our resources at an insane rate. Yada 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 yada. If enough people just believe that their little action can do something, then it's something big. Like I said, enough people, bro. There's a lot of us. There's a lot of us here. There's a lot of us, I feel like, that are in my shoes, that are struggling to not only stay afloat in their life financially, but to stay afloat mentally. There's so much pressure all the time, and there's so much just draining news constantly being just shoved down your throat. I think that's the point. I think it's to weaken you. And as big an ask as this is, I beg of you to just not let it get you down. I know that's like an insane task. And sometimes it will get you down. I'm not saying be happy all the time, because that's come on. Come on, bro. I guess what I'm saying here is it's okay to take a step back from everything and just appreciate the small wins. Just don't bury your head in the sand completely. But enough. Sorry about the fucking rant. That's probably going to be a common thing on this page. But I don't really care because that's how I roll. Back to the topic though. You just heard a lot of, oh, this is bad, blah, blah, blah. What do? We have alternatives. We have alternatives. We just need people who care about putting it into place. Funding public transit, putting better money and better resources into public transit, increasing walkability, making more sidewalks that aren't just at intersections. I want to be able to walk to the grocery store. I don't think that's such a crazy ask, or I'd like to be able to take the bus to an area where I can walk around and go to the grocery store. Just small things, just small things. I don't want to have a car just to eat food. I think another big thing that we could start investing in is safer streets. Not we necessarily, I mean, unless you count taxes, but we know where that's going. By the way, I love my life. I love being alive. I'm a really good swimmer and I'm a good driver. So just wanted to put that out there. Like I said, I'm not anti-car. I think cars are a cool way to express yourself. I think it's a good way to get from one place to another. I just don't see why, from a logical standpoint. From a business standpoint, I see why. But from a logical, sustainable standpoint, we don't need this many cars out on the road. Just think about it. Just really think about it. I want to ask you guys a question, or you can look it up. You can either guess or you can look it up if it's something you can find. But say you are going to college right now. What percent of your college campus do you think is just parking, is strictly parking, nothing else? And think about all the stuff that could be there instead of parking lots. And even if you're not a college student, what percent of your town, what areas in your town that are just giant parking lots, what could those be? I ask you guys, if you made it this far, I ask you guys to just do one thing. Notice your surroundings. Take what I say into consideration when you're looking at your environment and think, how could this change for the better? How could this be more equitable for people? That's pretty much it. I know I dropped a lot of doom and gloom and negative statistics on you guys and it kind of just rants, but as far as we are, as deep as we are into this system, I think one day there will be enough, I guess, discussion around the matter to really bring some real change. And who knows? Maybe, I don't want to say if, maybe when I blow up, maybe I can be in that position of power and I can start making some changes. But, one thing at a time. Let's just get this video out. Thank you all for watching. It means the absolute most to me. And you'll be seeing a lot more of me. You guys take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Outro. Royalty free. Hey, I'm not paying a dime for the song. Hey.